Okay guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be tapping maple trees. I haven't done a video on this, and this is our second year doing it. So first thing you have to do is obviously get a maple tree. This one, I'm not exactly sure the kind of maple tree. It might be a silver, but we do not have any sugar maples. You can use any kind of maple tree that is big enough. Usually you want a maple tree about 10 to 12 inches diameter, not radius. And you want it when you're drilling it, you need to find the right drill bit for your tap. These are 7/16 drill bit. And I'd like a smaller drill bit, but I can't really because our taps won't fit that. Eventually, I'd like to transition to smaller taps, so you put a smaller hole in the tree and it doesn't hurt it as much. So how you know when it's maple tapping season is it's in the spring, and it'll be about 25 to 40 degree temperature swings, and you want it to be below freezing. What you want is about 20 degrees at night and about 45 degrees or 40 and sunny would be nice. And when the season ends is when the buds will start to bloom and the syrup just doesn't really, or the sap just doesn't really smell very good because it's starting to lose its sweetness. So I'll go ahead and drill this here. We're using bags. Some people use buckets. I prefer bags. They seem to hold more, well, I guess it depends on the bucket. But we've kind of just used buckets. So I'll show you how to drill the hole and we'll tap in the tap. So I have it marked at 2 inches. You can go 1.5 inch, 2 inches. Some people even say 2.5 inches, but we like about 2 to 1.5, 1.5 to 2. You don't want to go too deep because it'll damage the tree. And some people think that drilling and tapping does damage the tree. It really doesn't. A lot of trees get a lot more damage than this through their life, like big branches breaking off, and it doesn't hurt them. Well, sometimes it does, but usually it just heals over and they're fine. So I'll show you how to drill. You usually want to be on the south-facing side because it'll be the most sun and it'll warm up faster and it'll be warmer for longer. So you want to slightly be facing up the drill bit so the sap can run out. And then you can just start drilling. And then you want to drill out the hole, make sure it's clean. And then it's clean, so you can tap in your maple or your tap. So you put it in there, and I'll go grab the hammer. All right, so you can take that, and you want to tap it into about right there, gently. About right there. Just gently tap it in, not too hard so it breaks the tap or splits the tree, because if it does split the tree, just a little bit, the sap can drain out from underneath. And then you want to make sure it's clear of bark around the tap so you can hang your bag properly. Just like that. That little bit of bark won't hurt the tree. And then you take your bag, and you can see right here the hole. You want to put that up around the tap and hang it just like that. And then make sure your bag's pulled down, snow's brushed off, stuff like that. And then pull your bag down so inside the sap doesn't run out of the bag, miss the hole. And yeah, that's how you hang your bag and drill your hole. Now I'll show you a couple more trees, and then this is the part one of, I'm not sure how many parts I'll do in this video. I'll show you how to boil it and make syrup. I'm not sure if it's running today. I haven't checked the other taps. It's only about 30 degrees right now at noon, and it's supposed to get to 32 and sunny. So it might run a little bit, but it's not going to be a really good day because you want about 40 or 45. All right, let's move on to the next tree. All right, y'all. Okay, so now we're on to the next tree. Again, drill it, tap it, and hang the bag. Another thing is you can put 2, 3, or even 4 taps in a tree. The most you probably want to do is 4. If you put more than that, it could damage the tree. Some people say you should only put 3 taps in a tree. And some people say 6. I think 4 is pretty good number right in between. And some of our friends have done 4 and it hasn't hurt the tree. So I think 4 is a pretty good number. So even if it's, another thing we do is if it's a gallon around about, we put 1 tap in it. And if it's like a 1 gallon bucket, and if it's a 5 gallon bucket around, then we put 2 taps in it. So this one's getting pretty close to be able to have 2 taps. So we might even put 2 taps in it this year, but we'll see. And that measures out to be about, if it's 12 inches or bigger, you put 1 tap in it, or 24 inches and bigger, you can put 2 taps in it. Okay, so I'll drill the hole. This is about south right here. So put it in. You want to put it in above a root and on the south-facing side, like I said before. Slight upwards angle, and you drill it in. Clean out the hole. Just like that, and then you can grab your tap and put that in. You can blow out the hole if you need to. That one's not running right now. Last year when we tapped this tree, it was a late runner, so it didn't run for a couple weeks into the season. So we'll see what it does this year. And again, just gently tap it in, make sure it's straight. You probably want to use a rubber mallet, but for these taps, we found that hammer works a lot better. But it just kind of depends on the tap. Some people use rubber mallets, others don't. And then I just gotta put this bag in the holder. Just like that. Make sure it's on there. Then you can put that on the tree. Right now we're gonna put in 12, and a couple days ago we put in 11. I think in total this year we're gonna go for about 35. And then again, like I said, I'll show you the boiling down and its final syrup process. All right, let's move on to the next tree. Okay, so we're on the 3rd tree now. This is about probably 12 to 14 inches in diameter. And we're going to go to the south side. Make sure not to put it in probably, some people say it's supposed to be 6 inches from the last drill hole. Some people say 2. So I go about 3 or 4, probably about 4 I go. Or you can just do about a dollar bill's length away from the last hole. And you want to go a little bit down and over from it, so it's not right in that path where that sap was flowing last year. So I'm going to go about right, probably about right here, a little bit down. And then some people also say above a root, so about right here. It's kind of hard to tell in the snow, but I'll say about right here. And then just gotta grab my tap, if I can find it. There it is. Put it in there. Make sure it's blowing off. There we go. Put it in there. Grab my hammer. And then you can store it in a bunch of different things. We usually go with food grade buckets or barrels. We didn't get any barrels this year, but in future years, we're hoping to get a few barrels to put it in. And then you can also do boil it in pots or something. That's what we do. But also we're hoping to get a pan because you want a bunch of surface area for the steam to boil off. Another thing is you don't want to boil it in your house because that's a lot of humidity that's boiling off, and it can make your house really damp and it can peel the wallpaper right off. And so make sure to boil it outside. You can either use propane or wood, but I'll talk about that more when we're actually boiling. Alright, so you got that one hung up. And I think this is the end of the video. Again, probably in about a week or so, I'll make a video on boiling. We'll see how long it takes for these trees to start running. And yeah, it's only in the spring, even in the fall when it's cooling and warming, it's not very sugary. It's sugary in the spring because it's getting all that sugar content ready for the buds and the leaves to sprout. So if you have the chance to get out here and do it, it doesn't take a whole bunch. You can just get a few taps, a few plastic ones even, that aren't that expensive, and a few plastic buckets, and get out here and do it. And you can use stainless steel pans or buckets to boil it. They have very expensive evaporators, but I'll talk about more of that later. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time. Bye.